Hey friends, welcome back. My name is Naomi. Thank you for being here and taking time out of your day to watch our videos. Today is another freezer meal video. Actually, we're making bread. I'm gonna make a sandwich bread and rolls. I made a couple tweaks to the sandwich bread and I'll show you what those are, but I will link both of these recipes down in the description below. So I might double these so I can have some for now and have some for my freezer, and I'll show you how I do this process. So thanks again for being here. If you love videos like this, give us a like. We would love to grow our channel by you subscribing, and let's get started. All right, so the first thing this recipe calls for is hot water. You put your hot water in, and then you add, actually, I'm doubling this, so I need 2 cups of hot water. Two cups of hot water. And then it calls for 2 3/4 teaspoons of yeast, which is what, 1.5, 5.5 teaspoons of yeast. So 3, 4, 5.5. This is also, it says to add 2 tablespoons of sugar, but my replacement is honey. I use honey in this recipe and it works out just fine. So it calls for 2 tablespoons, but I'm going to do 4. That's 4 tablespoons of honey. And it says to add this, those things together. So what I do is I give it a stir with my honey spoon. And then you let it sit for 10 minutes until it starts to bloom or bubble. And I'll show you what that looks like. So this is what it looks like right now. Let me see if I can show you better. That's what it looks like right now, and then I'll show you what it looks like once it's bloomed. So while this, see, it's already changing. While this blooms, I'm going to spray my pans so that it doesn't stick. You want to spray it pretty good, both sides and the bottom. Just make sure it's good and sprayed, and then I'll check back in. But this is so cool. It's only been, what, 3 minutes. It says 10, and you could see it bubbling. I just think it's so cool. But yeah, we're gonna let this go for 7. Okay, this has bloomed. It's been 10 minutes, and now I'm gonna get the rest of the ingredients in and show you how that goes. So it calls for 3 cups of all-purpose flour. I'm actually gonna use, or it says or bread flour. I'm going to use bread flour, and I'm going to double it, so I need 6 cups. I'm actually going to only add 3 right now until I get it into the mix. I'm going to get it mixing. And then we'll add what we need, because we don't want a real stiff dough. We want it to be light and fluffy. All right, so there's 3 cups. And it calls for 1/4 cup of vegetable oil, but I use olive oil. And I'm doubling it, so I'm going to use 1/2 cup, so 2 of these. And then 1.5 teaspoons of salt, which is, I'm going to do 3, because it's doubling it. 1, 3. Okay, so I'm gonna get this. I got my dough hook on my KitchenAid. I'm gonna slowly stir in the first 3 cups of flour, and then add 1 cup at a time, slowly, to see if it actually needs all 6 cups. And every so often you need to scrape the sides down. Make sure everything's just to make sure everything's incorporated. Now I'm gonna slowly add in the next 3 cups just to see how much we need. This last cup I'm gonna add in very slowly to see how much it needs of this 6th cup. You don't want it to be real tough. It won't make a very soft bread. That's where I'm gonna leave this bread. I'm gonna let it knead for, how long does it say? 3 to 4 minutes it's gonna knead. So while that's kneading, I'm going to add oil to a bowl. Olive oil, and I just kind of rotate the thing around. You want it, after that dough is done, you're gonna put this bread into this bowl, and you don't want it to stick, and you're gonna let it rise. This rises for an hour and a half, it says, but I've actually never had it wait that long. So we'll see today. Kind of warm in my kitchen today, so it just might be. Okay, so this is, lift the thing. This is done. It's sticky, but not like sticking to my fingers, which is what I wanted. And no, I tried to do sourdough. For one thing, it's not my favorite. I'm probably doing it wrong, which I'm almost guaranteeing I am. But I haven't given myself the grace to do it. I'm gonna take this off, and we're gonna get it into that bowl there. You should smell this. It smells so good. So I'm just gonna take this and kind of move it around like this in this bowl. Form it into like a ball, a huge one actually. And then I'm gonna cover this with a towel and let it rise. Okay, so I'm gonna start, while the bread rises, I'm gonna start on the 1 hour soft dinner rolls. It says to add 2 tablespoons of butter, but I'm adding 4 because I'm going to double this. Hopefully this fits. It tends to grow. We're going to get this in here. Actually, no, I'm going to dump this back in here. I lied. We have to heat this up, I forgot. So we're going to put this in here with 2 cups of hot water. Like that. Yeah, you add that, and then you are supposed to do a half a cup of milk. I'm gonna do a whole cup because I'm doubling it. So you do a whole cup of milk. And then 2 tablespoons of honey, but I'm doing 4. And all we're gonna do on the stove is just get this warm so we can add our yeast. All right, I'm gonna get this on the stove to warm. Okay, I got that completely warmed up. You don't want it to be scalding because it'll kill the yeast, but it's warm. And then I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of yeast because it calls for 1, but I'm gonna do 2. Okay, and I'm gonna stir this up, and then let it sit for 5 minutes, it says. Get a fork. All right, this guy is nice and bubbly and proofed and ready to go. So we're gonna get, it says a teaspoon of salt. I'm not doing 2 teaspoons because I use salted butter. These gnats love the yeast. So I'm going to do a teaspoon instead of 2. Just because I use salted butter. All right. We're gonna move this guy. I'm gonna move the camera to here. I cleaned my mixer up and get that on there. Then it calls, okay, it calls for um, 3.5 to 4 cups of flour, which would be 8, which is a lot. I don't know if my mixer is going to be able to stand it, but I'm going to sure try. So I'm going to add 3 cups first and then keep adding. Actually, let's add 4. I'm going to scrape the sides down, like I said. Oh, not a fork. Scrape my sides down. I've done this before and never had it grow that fast, but that's okay. It's okay. It's gonna be all right. All right. So my phone stopped recording, but I beat this. I need this on my machine. I needed it for, well, the machine needed it for about 5 minutes, and I'm going to get it into this oil bowl and get it covered and let it rise for, I think it's 20 minutes. It's not very long. I like these rolls because, let's see. Let dough rise for 15 minutes. So we'll get this in there and let it rise. All right, it's been 15 minutes. This guy's good and puffy. I'm gonna just punch it down. And what I do here, I have 3 pans. It says it makes 15 rolls, but I just do it to what size I think's good, and whatever it fills, it fills. So I just take it, because these puff up pretty good, so I just take it and I try to tuck the ends under and make a pretty little roll, and then I stick it in our pan, and I'm just going to keep doing that. So there's the first pan. I'm gonna just continue to roll these out, and I'm going to get them covered, and let's see how long it says. 15 to 20 minutes until they rise up, and these rise pretty fast, especially with my warm kitchen. So I'm just gonna continue with the rest of them. So I got 10 more rolls, which makes 22 rolls altogether. I'm gonna get these covered, like I said, and I'll give it about 15 minutes to see how they look, and we'll go from there. I'm gonna start kneading my bread dough next, or not kneading it, rolling it out and showing you guys how I do that. So that's gonna be our next step. All right, our dough has risen quite a bit, our bread dough, and I'm gonna punch it down. So satisfying. And I'm just gonna get it. I don't weigh anything. I probably should, but I'm going to get this. I'm going to break this in half-ish and get these into these 2 loaf pans. This one's bigger, a little bit. So what I do, I just take it like this, and I just pull and tuck. My dough loaves are never pretty, but they're delicious, so I think taste matters more than looks. Well, in my instance. Yeah, I kind of make it look like this. And then, can you see that? Okay. And then I just lay it in this loaf pan and kind of press it down. I don't know if that's what you're supposed to do, but I've been doing this for many years this way. And same for this guy. I just take it and I kind of just pull and stretch and pull and stretch and pull and stretch. And then once I think it looks pretty good, I get it into this pan like this, and I just push, like again, I push it down. And then I'm gonna get this one covered, and I'm gonna let it rise for another hour. All right, this is what it looks like after a 15-minute rise, and we're gonna get these into a 400-degree oven for 15 minutes, and then we'll let them cool and get them flash frozen and into bags. Excuse the air conditioner as usual, but here are the rolls, fresh out of the oven. And then, okay, it was 15 minutes, right? These guys are like over the edge, so These go in a 350-degree oven for 25 to 30 minutes until they look golden brown and they are done. And there we go. 2 loaves of beautiful bread, a pan. That one's empty. It's gone because my boys ate them. But yeah, this is what we got today, and it's going to be great. Like, we have this weekend, we're eating the freezer meal chicken soup that I made. We're going to have that this weekend, and now we'll have rolls to go with it, and it'll be a blessing because, like I said, it can make a mess, but it's nice to get the dishes all done at once. So there is our beautiful bread. Well, friends, I just wanted to say thank you for being here again. I hope you enjoyed coming along as you make this bread with me. I encourage you, just continue to try to do things to prepare yourself ahead. And like I said, this saves so much money. It saves time, and I know the ingredients, which makes it healthier. If you like this video, please like down below and subscribe. We would love to have you as part of our Everson Road family, and we will see you next time. Bye.